All right, here we go. It's going to be 20 questions today. That means every question is how much? 5 points. 5 times 20 is 100, right? Every question's half a grade. Don't play games with those questions, right? Every question's half a grade when you have questions. That's why I try to give more, because I want you to be able to miss a couple and not suffer so much, right? But I can't use up all your time. So these are longer, so I had to cut them down to only 20 questions. That means they're more valuable each one, right? They're each half a grade. They're each 5 points. So think that way. When you're looking at one, think, here comes half a grade. All right, so 9x and 15x, 9xy, I should say. 9xy and 15x squared. Find the LCM or LCD. Same thing. So go ahead. Don't say it out loud. Give everybody a chance. Use calculator. Use whatever you think you should do to find that, and then I'll finish it up. Be making your 3. If you haven't made your 3x5 card, we're putting it together as we go. Anything you see you need as we go, put it on there. Second hour, we take the exam. All right, so you put the 9 and the 15 in the box. Remember the LCD box or LCM, same thing, whatever you want to call it? Yeah, remember that? And what goes into 9 and 15? 3. 3 goes into 9 3 times, 3 goes into 15 5 times? Good so far. What goes into 3 and 5? Nothing but 1. So we're done. So multiply these guys together. 45. Use your calculator. If you want 45, that's the number part of the LCD or LCM. 45. LCM is 40. Now, let me give you another second here. Figure out what to do about the letters. Remember the rules for the letters. For shopping. Shopping at Target, we're going to buy one of everything, but we're going to buy the highest price. We're going to buy the most expensive tennis racket at Target. We're going to buy the most expensive. What else? Broom. Okay. The nicest broom they've got. Give me your best broom. Right? Right. So the most expensive of every type of thing. So what's the most expensive X? X squared, and y is just y. 45x squared y, it's a. We good? Is that okay? Questions I can answer? Shall we keep moving? Try number 2. I'll move it down here. Number 2, what is that? I can't really read that. It's r squared plus 2r plus 1, comma. Notice that comma, that's important. Same thing, LCM. 1 and 2 are both LCM, right? See how the instructions for LCM come above 1 and 2? It's LCM again. So it's some kind of factor. All right, how do we factor this? You got to factor these guys, I hope you're seeing. How do you factor that first one? R times R, remember it's the FOIL, F-O-I-L. Front times front makes front, R times R makes R squared. And 1 times 1 makes 1. And that add, remember they add to be the middle, they multiply to be the number that they, 1 times 1 is 1, and they add to be 2 in the middle, huh? So 1 and 1 multiply to be 1, they multiply to be 1, and they add to be 2. So that's good. And what do you do when you have identical twins? You say squared. Good so far? And now you got to factor that guy also. So we got to factor each of these before we go shopping for the LCD, right? How do you factor the second one? Everybody good with that? Take out an R in common. That's an R in common. Is that good? Right? Because if you multiply that R, it would go back to R squared plus R. All right, so now we're looking at R plus 1 squared and R times R plus 1. And we're going to shop for the LCM, LCD, whatever you want to call it. What are we going to do at the store? Give me one of everything at Target. Give me one broom, but you're most expensive. Give me one tennis racket, but you're most expensive. Right? So that goes for letter packages. R plus 1 is a glued together. Maybe we should say we're shopping at Costco, huh? We're shopping at Costco. R plus 1 is glued together package. Say, Costco, I'll take one of those, but I'll take the most expensive. You got a first power here and you got a second power there. Which one am I taking? Second power. And then I also need a planar. That's different. There it is. Everybody good with that? Was that C? C. Is that okay? Put on your 3x5 card whatever you need to help you remember. Questions I can answer? For the final. I'll give you a full sheet of paper for the final. All right. That's what it is. Okay, lot in the shape of a right triangle. Yeah, good thinking. As soon as you see right triangle, you should think, oh, it's one of those a squared plus b squared is c squared. Totally. Right on the money. Whenever you see right triangle, when you see the right triangle thing, right away just think, oh, it's a squared plus b squared is c squared. That's what they're always doing with the right triangle.
12.
A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Good. See what you can plug into those. I think it's helpful if you put them on the triangle. You don't have to, but I think it'll probably help you to put them on the triangle before you bring them over into the A, B, and the C. So when you do the ABC, the C, you can switch the A and the B. It doesn't matter where the A and the B are, but the C has to be the longest side, right? What's called the hypotenuse. Remember how C is the longest? Because A and B add up to equal C. He's bigger, right? They add up to be him. So C is the big one, right? So what does it say about them? It says one of the other two are called legs. This is called a leg and a leg. And this side's called the hypotenuse. So one of the legs is 90. You could put the 90 here. You could put the 90 in the bottom. It doesn't matter. A and B are interchangeable. Doesn't matter. Just make one of them 90. Who cares which one? One of them is 90. And then it says the hypotenuse is 30. Not just 30. 30 meters longer. Longer. What do we do in a word problem when they say something is 30 more? That's what they're saying, right? 30 longer is 30 more. X plus 30. Isn't that what we always do? When they say something is 30 more, right? 30 longer, 30 more. What do we always do? X plus 30, right? Where's that going to go?
X plus 30 on the C.
That's the C, because that's the hypotenuse. And when there's an X plus 30, when there's an X formula, what is there also somewhere always? Plain X.
Plain X.
And I only got one blank left, the B. Or you could have put it on the A. It doesn't matter. Yeah, you could switch where I have the 90 and the X. It doesn't matter at all. But you got to make sure the C is the X plus 30. Does everybody see that? See how that's what we do all the time in word problems, huh? When they say 30 longer, we go X plus 30 and somebody else's plain X. Right? And again, it doesn't matter. You can switch the 90 and the X. If A and B are interchangeable. Doesn't matter. But you got to make sure C is the big one. The longer one, the X plus 30. All right, so then let's plug them in. 90 squared plus X squared is X plus 30 squared. Everybody good there? Again, you could switch A and the B. The order doesn't matter. Squared, 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 right? Good. Now, what is 90 squared? Use calculator. 90 times 90, 8100. Okay, the other side, x squared and 30 squared is 900, isn't it? Square the x, square the 30. Square the x, square the 30. You good with that? I just squared the x, and I squared the 30. And the calculator 30 times 30, 900, right? Square the x, square the 30. Everybody good with that? I'm not good with that. I'm hoping there's somebody else not good with that.
Yeah, no. You can foil it.
Yes, you gotta foil that.
What to go
You
with.
can't do that, but I see it all the time. That's why I want to show it to you. Even way up the line. I was just with my pre-calc students, and I was telling them the same thing. And calculus students do it too. So if you can get it out of your system right now, it's great. You'll save yourself trouble along the way. When you have parentheses squared, you've got to write 2 of those parentheses. You can't just square the first thing and square the second thing. It looks so tempting to everybody, right on up the line, but it's not true. You can't do that. One of the most common mistakes, what I'm saying is you can't just do that. You've got to actually write 2 of them with parentheses and do the whole FOIL thing. You know what I mean? Where you go like first to both, second to both, that whole thing. So remember that whenever you have parentheses with a 2 power, you've got to write 2 of those parentheses and multiply it all the way out. So we get 8100 plus x squared, FOIL this out, x squared plus 30x plus 30x plus 900. See, we get extra stuff in the middle, don't we? We get 4 terms, not just the 2 terms. Everybody see that? It's a little different. We good to there? So far, so good? Now, what about the fact that we have x squared on both sides?
Subtract.
Yeah. Bye-bye. From both sides, huh? And then just bring down the other guys. Everybody see how x squared just dropped out of the picture? Because it was on both. Now, if x squared is just on one side, which we'll probably have in a minute, some of the times you just have x squared on one side, that's where you get a 0 and factor. Everybody see that difference? But if you have x squared on both sides, you just subtract it from both sides, it's gone. This is an easier way to have x squared. Everybody see there's a lot to remember in this one, huh? A lot of steps. Does that make sense so far? All right, what do I do now to solve for x?
Subtract 900.
X is saying I want to be alone. Get rid of this stuff with me. Subtract that 900. Yeah, I'm running out of room, but yeah, that's what we're bringing up here. 7,200. Am I off the screen? Almost. 60x. That screen. 7,200 is 60x. Divided by 60. Calculator tell you
12.
12?
I think.
Or 12, 120? Is it 120? 120, yeah. 12 something, huh? 12 with a 0. 120. And, oh, yeah, I should let you know. Which one is that, A, B, C, or D? That's C. No, there's number 3 up there.
No,
It's not number 4. Number 3.
Nothing there.
There's no multiple choice. Do you notice that? There's no options. There's no bubbles. Today's test, 4 or 5, maybe the last 5 questions will not be multiple choice. This exam and exam 5, there'll be like 5 questions at the end where you just do your work, leave your answer, and that's it. No, nothing to bubble. So like there'll be 20 questions, and I think the first 15 will be multiple choice. You know, your bubble on your Scantron. Yeah, there is no bubble. But no, they'll be the last, so you won't have to skip anything. No, they'll be the last 5. So once you get down the first 15, all the last 5 you skip. You don't do Scantron. Yeah, does that make sense? So today's test will be 20 questions. The first 15 will be bubbles, like you're used to. You bubble the answer. The you'll see multiple choice. You'll follow it on your Scantron. The last 5 will not be multiple choice. So you won't put anything on your Scantron. You'll just leave the word right in your test. So you room the word, more room than this. And you just leave your answer right. And I'll grade it. So you need to turn that part in with your name on it. I'll be grading that part of your test also. Question?
What number was that? Number 3?
Question?
6.
What is it?
Oh, good job.
I didn't remember that part.
I am wrong. I should be teaching this class. Yeah, you're right.
I remember this. I don't know why he did like that.
Yeah, I messed up. That's almost the answer. If you left that, it's not quite right, Phil. So I'd probably just throw away your test. Like, this is craziness. No, I made the mistake too. You would get 4 out of 5 probably. I would give you almost all of it. You'll get partial credit on those last 5. So do something. You know, you'll get partial credit. If you left that answer, you get 4 out of 5. You almost got it. One other step. What else did you do? You notice what she said? She's very astute. She's right. It says longer leg. Their actual question is longer leg. Oh, no, it is that. It is that. It is X. It is the X. If they had asked for hypotenuse, I got lucky. I didn't even read it, but I just got lucky. Yeah, but careful. They could have said, how long is the hypotenuse? Then I would have needed to take the 120, plug it in right there, which means add 30. The hypotenuse would have been 150, right? Add 30. Yeah, they could have asked that. So watch out on a word problem. Remember, on a word problem, don't assume X is your answer like I just did. Don't just stop, but you feel like it. After all that work, you're like, I'm done. Maybe not. Be careful. X is it. It usually is the answer, but not always. It is 120, so that is full credit on this one. That's right.
Are you requiring to send your...
No, I don't care.
You
Don't put any units on there. I don't care.
Okay. Yay.
We're not chemistry or physics or anything. Good on that one? Other questions on that one? That okay? That's a tough one. All right. All right, number 4. Give that one a go.
That's what I got it right on there.
Is that the M equals K?
This one's multiple choice again. I'm like 50. I would not work for give me a blind card. Well, you're
But not asking to look at you without lights.
Distances are harder? Okay, I'm good with distance, but close up. Yeah. Yes. All right, so there's a key word in here that needs to jump off the page and slap you. What is it? Varies directly. That's just got to grab you, or you got to grab it. Varies directly. There'll be like 2 today's test that say varies directly or varies inversely. Remember those? So when they say directly, remember what we do for directly? Equal fractions, right? The ratio thing. Remember that? Yep. A over B is C over D, cross multiply and solve. So let me give you another try. In case you didn't pick up on that, let me give you another 30 seconds. So write that on your 3x5 card. That's golden. Put that thing on your 3x5 card. Directly, A over B equals C over D. Write that. Definitely have that in your 3x5 card. Varies directly. You will see those words. A over B equals C over D. So then just lay out the fractions. And then cross multiply, right? Diagonal, diagonal. Solve for x. Okay. 125 cubic centimeters. 375 grams. I don't know which, it doesn't matter. I'll just go 125 over 375, right? Equals 27 over. See how I put centimeters on the top, centimeters on the top? So that's consistent, right? As long as you're consistent. You could put them both on the bottom. It would work also. Just be consistent with whatever you do. and it'll be, it'll work. Is that good to there? See how I'm doing that? Then just diagonal, diagonal, right? Diagonal, diagonal. Use calculator. Diagonal, diagonal. 125x is 27 times 375. Good to there, and then some big number, far too big for me. Somebody got it? 10,125. Thank you. And then last step, we good to there? Last step is to divide by that 125. What is it, 81? Thank you. 81. Which is hopefully there. Yes, D. I will not mix. See how this practice is kind of confusing? It does multiple choice, and then there's a non-multiple. They're back and forth. I won't do that. Again, the first 15 are all multiple choice. The last 5, no multiple choice.
On your notes for how to do it, you have it written different.
Oh, yeah, I know. I showed a different method. Yeah, I changed my mind this semester. I think this is easier. Yeah, sorry.
And the answer comes out a little bit different.
No, the answer was 81.
This is easy.
Either way.
For the KB.
On that. So, yeah, either way is fine. I don't care. I think this will be easier for most of you. We good there? Should we try number 5? Everybody got that down? So, again, the keywords varies directly. A over B, C over D. And let me write the other one right now. How about if they, and which we'll do it in a minute, but let me give you two ahead of time. What about when they say varies inversely, which they will say in a minute? Straight, huh? A times B is C times D instead of fractions, huh? Inversely is going to be like that, straight. Which seems like opposite of how it should be, huh? Inversely sounds like a fraction, but it's straight. And then the directly is the fractions. Right? So definitely put those two on your 3x5 card. Varies directly. A over B equals C over D. 2 fractions. Varies inversely. Straight. AB equals CD. That was the section we did on Wednesday, right? They're talking about the area of a rectangle, right? Area of a rectangle. What's the area of a rectangle formula?
A equal L times.
Length times width. Is that good? So we want to have that in your 3x5 card if you don't already know it, right? Length times width. Now, we're only going to use one letter, though, so we're not really going to use L and W. We could, but we're just going to use X. Remember, I'm going to let, there's 2 players in that. The A is whatever they tell me. The A is 65. So the A is 65. They're just telling me A straight out, no mystery. They always do, right? Now, for the other 2 players, remember how we always do these word problems. One of them will be simple X. The other will be some kind of an X formula. It doesn't matter which is which. Who cares? Just make one of them simple X, one of them X formula according to the words. Right? And we'll solve from there. So I'll just make the first one X. Doesn't really matter which is which. And the other one is an X formula.
X plus 8.
What does it say? 8 more. Yeah, X plus 8, huh? If it said 8 less,
Subtract.
that'd be 8, X minus 8, wouldn't it? It'd be minus 8. So more is add, less is subtract in word problems.
Oh, wait.
What if it said times? What if it said the length is 8 times as long?
8x.
That'd be 8 times X. It'd be X and 8 times X. Times is times, more is add, less is subtract. All right. So now what do we do from here? So we're done with the words. We just need to solve the thing now. How do we solve it? Got to start with distributing. X squared plus 8x. We good to there? Good. As soon as we see x squared, we think get a 0. Remember, that's the sea monster. I always do, right? When the x squared rears its ugly head all of a sudden, we get a 0. So whenever you see x squared with an equal sign, step 1 is get a 0. Step 2 is factor, like with the parentheses. And then step 3 is each part equals 0. Remember that? So that's what you, as soon as you see x squared rear its ugly head, right away you go into that mode. So here x squared has showed up, and we think get a 0. Get a 0. So grab this 65 and jump it this way, huh? How do you know whether to, like, because sometimes we move everything left, sometimes we move everything right. How do you know where to move the stuff? You want the front term to be positive. That's what's x squared. You want the x squared. See, I don't want to jump the x squared left because he'd become a negative x squared. That'd be hard to deal with. So whichever side x squared's on, move everybody to him. Right? That's the easiest thing to do. So then we get 0 is x squared plus 8x minus 65. That good? Factor. Remember how this works? You're looking for two things that multiply to be 65, add to be 8. What times what? Use your calculator if you're a little rusty. Take 65 and you calculate, divide by everything, divide by 5, it's 13, huh? And you go, oh yeah, 5 and 13. And really, you know, at that point, you can stop. The answers are going to be 5 and 13. If you want to go through the rest of the formalities, that's okay, but you probably want to save time. You can just stop. The answers are 5 and 13. Those are the two numbers, 5 and 13. And how do you know which one's length and which one's width? Just look at the words. Right. It's all formalities. I can go all through it in a minute. I will. But to save you time, 5 and 13. They will be, when all is said and done, positive 5 and positive 13. I know at first one of them is negative and blah, blah, blah. I'll go through the story in a minute. But really, when all is said and done, positive 5 and positive 13 will be the answers. And how do you know which is which? Length is more. Length is 8 more. So which one do you think is the length? If the length is 8 more.
13.
Length has got to be the 13, and the width has got to be the 5, huh? The length is 8 more. They're not hiding it. They're telling me. The length is 8 more. Now, here's the formalities. 5 and 13, sign in the middle.
The higher.
Again, you don't have to do these formalities. I'm fine if you just stop right here and go, I'm done, I'm happy, that's fine. But if you're interested in all the details, I've done it once or twice before, I'll do it one more time. Sign in the middle is positive, sign in the bigger is positive. It would be like that, right? Then you set each of these equal to 0 on their own. Like that, right? And solve, jump it over, so you get positive 5 and negative 13. Now, you can't have a length or width or anything that's negative 13, so you throw that away. So the only real answer I've got is positive 5. But then I go back to the words. What do the words say? Length, 8 more. Length, right here. Length is 8 more. 8 more than what? Well, x. 8 more, add 8. Add 8, 13. Same answer. Length is 13, then this must be the width. So you see, in the end, it all just happens that way anyway. So it's just 5 and 13. Yeah?
So it's 5 and 13, not just 5? This is on the exam,
Oh, you're right. They only asked for the width, huh? I just keep not reading the words. Find the width. So, but no, this is important to see, though, because I might ask you, I don't even know. I might ask you for both on the test. Length and width. Or I might ask you for the length, not the width. Yeah, watch out. Wouldn't it be a bummer to do all that good work and on the last step not get the answer right because you didn't read the words like I'm doing right now? Well, if it's the last 5. But not if it's up in the first 15, you'll get an A. All that good work and you'll grab the wrong bubble. Yeah, so what am I saying? Let me make this simple. This doesn't need to be overbearing or it's not beyond your ability. You just have to pay attention. Read the question carefully. Not like me, I'm blowing it right now. Read the question carefully at the end. Make sure you're really answering the question. What do they want? Find the width. So then I go, okay, oh yeah, that is the 5, it's the 5, which was just x. I'm good, I'm done. It's 5. But they could have said, what is the length? And then I would have given them the 13, right? So watch out. Just make sure you read the question at the end. And you can find them both, because they tell you length is 8 more. So if they ask for length, add 8. Right? That makes sense. Just make sure you double check on the word problem. There'll be like 4 or 5 word problems today, just like there are here. Maybe 6 of them. Double check that you are really answering the question. Find the width. find the length, or whatever it is they want, or find both, you know. That good? You can do that. Just read the question, stay in the word problem. Make sure you read them. All right. One. All right, so we did that. Let's do, we're on number 6, huh? All right, let's do number 6 down here. Contractor finds, try that one. Sam Tockett. Over here. Okay, there it is at the top. All right, so try number 6 there. Sam Tockett. It takes Sam 10 hours to make the wall. It takes Jim 7. How long together? Try that one. What's the formula? What's the key word that needs to jump off the page for you there? Together. Right? Together. Remember the together formula I gave you?
1 over A plus 1 over B equals 1 over A.
Yeah, 1 over A plus 1 over B is 1 over X. That's always the together. And that's the X. Yeah, remember that? Put it on your 3x5 card if it's not already there. For the together, it's going to be one together problem on today's test. You can get it. You can nail it. You have that formula. 1 over A plus 1 over B, 1 over X. Good. See how we identify the different word problems? Okay, so now, the A and the B, again, the order in A and B doesn't matter. One of them's 10, one of them's 7. You could switch them up. It doesn't matter at all. Either way. Good to there? Or the other way? All right. Now, can you solve that thing? Let me give you a second. Give that a try. See if you can solve that thing. Just a second.
X.
That equals this, right?
You gotta cancel.
So what do you do? What's the LCD?
70.
70x, right? Don't forget the x. 70 and the x is also denominator. Yeah, it's a really common mistake to just put 70. That'll mess you up. So 70, remember what you do with it? Top, 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 right? 70x, 70x, 70x. Is that good? Don't forget the x on today's test. That x is part of the denominator, part of the common. 70x, 70x, 70x. And then cross cancel, remember that? Cross cancel and multiply whatever's left over. So 10 goes into 70 7 times. Just divide it in your calculator. Remember to cross off what divides and multiply whatever's left over. What's left over? 7 times x times 1, 7x. Good. 7 goes into 70 10 times 10x. Over here, x cancels x. 1 times 70 is 70. Is that good? Questions I can answer? Everybody see what happened there? Yeah. That makes sense. I canceled, and what was left over multiplied. So make sure you're using, because again, it's a common mistake to just do 70 in the top. It's 70x. Don't forget the x. Okay. Then add these two, 17x. Last step to get x alone. Divide by the 17. X is alone. 70 over 17.
4.
And you can leave it that way. Yeah, you can give me a decimal. I don't care. Any of them are fine. What do you do if what about on today's test if I make it multiple choice and the answers are like 4 1/3, 4 2/5, 4 1/6, 5 1/3, none? What if you got a bunch of mixed numbers and you got these and you're like, I don't know which mixed number it is? What could you do?
Don't you want to divide
Yeah, calculator.
Just change them all to decimals. You got a calculator. You can take 1 divided by 3 on your calculator. It'll tell you 0.3s forever. And you go, oh, that's 4.333. Is that what I got? No, don't want that one. Next. What's 4 2/5? Take 2 divided by 5 in your calculator. It'll tell you, oh, it's 4.4. Go, oh, that's not what I got. Next one. Right? You can change all those things to decimals. Just divide the numbers on your calculator, right? Just go 1. If they give you like a mixed number, so just go 1 divided by 3. It'll tell you what the decimal
I
is.
think it's the third one.
You already know it's got a 4 in the front.
Yeah.
Just divide the fraction part. You see what I mean? Don't mess with the 4. The 4 is 4. Right? Just go 1 divided by 3. It'll tell you the decimal is 0.3333. Take 2 divided by 5. It'll tell you the decimal is 0.4. Does that make sense? So you can just make everything decimals with your calculator and just answer that way. You don't need to worry about formats, fractions, decimals, well, unless there's letters. But for the pure number things, just make them all decimals. Good. Ready for more? Questions on that one? Oops. We've done a lot. All right, try number 7.
You're not very educated.
All right, what are the key words that want to jump off the page for you? Varies inversely. Remember what I said for inversely? What formula do we always use? C times D, right? We do them straight like that. Right? Side by side. That's not the way I showed it on the practice exam. This is a new method I'm doing this semester because I think it's easier. All right, so here we go. X is 12, V is 5, so 12 times 5 is X times 15. So I just took the numbers, letters straight as they came. Right? Just went 12, 5, X, 15. Everybody see that? Is that good? And then what is it, 60? Yeah. Pretty good to there. And so that's 60 equals X times 15. Last step, divide by 15. X is 4. There it is, option C. We haven't had any E, none of the above, but there are a few. There's usually 3 or 4 E's. Questions on that one? We good? Questions I can answer? All right, let's try number 8. We got number 8 right there. In fact, let me just move this out of the way so we have room for number 8. I'll just move it over here. Divide by 15. X is 4. Yes, so try number 8. Chuck and Dana agree to meet in Chicago for the weekend.
Dana White. It's the dirt.
So what equation do we use when people are traveling? Dirt. The dirt equation, right? Distance equals rate times time. 1 row's for Chuck, the other's for Dana. Remember that? And we got to get 4 boxes, don't we? We got to get 4 boxes from the word. 4 boxes from the words. Remember, we get the left 4 boxes,
So x plus 5.
and then the right 2 come by dividing, remember? So Chuck travels 144 miles. Is that a distance, rate, or time? Miles for Chuck. Distance for Chuck. 144. Dana goes 129 miles. That's distance for Dana. Remember, we got to get the left 4 boxes, and then the right 2 come by dividing. So what about the rate? Chuck is 5 miles per hour more.
X plus 5.
X plus 5 for Chuck, right? And what does that mean? When there's an X plus 5, there's also a plain X for the other one. Right? Getting the hang of that? See how the word problems always do that? These are getting so easy for you now, right? Comfortable? You able to solve word problems better than you ever thought you could or really ever wanted to? All right, so how do we get time on the right now?
The time is the same.
Time is the same, but how do we get the boxes first off?
Is it
Always by dividing. Remember? The time is left over middle. Remember that? Because if you take the d equals RT equation and you solve for time, see, it's d over r. It's left over middle. Time, getting t alone in the dirt equation, t alone is d over r. It's left over middle. So it's 144 over x plus 5. So I took the left over the middle, and it's left over middle. 129 over x. Everybody see that? So I just keep taking left over middle, left over middle. Do you remember that? That's how we always do these dirt setups. We get the 4 boxes on the left in these travel problems. We get the 4 boxes on the left from the words. And then the 2 boxes on the right are left divided by middle. Left divided by middle. Because that's what happens when you solve for time in the dirt equation. D over R. Left over middle. Now, we pull out these 2 boxes. Good. And we set them equal. Why are they equal?
Because they left it the same.
Same length of time. Those are time boxes. They're same. They're equal. Yeah, now how do we solve 2 equal fractions? Diagonal, diagonal, cross multiply. Right, 144x is 129x plus 5. Distribute. 29x plus 645. Good to there. Subtract 129x from both sides. So it's at 10, 15x. There's 645. Scribbly there. Everybody good to there? Last step. Divide by 15. X is 33? 43. X is 43.
Then you gotta add it, right? To the x plus 5.
Yeah, good job. So 43, got it. That's my answer. Next problem.
Nah, you lying. Nah. You ain't done it.
That would be a crying shame to do all that work and fail to do what I'm encouraging you to do, but I keep messing up on.
Then we fail this test.
Right? I'm just messing up on purpose so that you guys won't mess up. It's just part of my kindness to you. No, I messed up on accident the first couple times, but this time I'm not going to mess up.
All this.
Remember, on a word problem, don't assume X is your answer. It usually is, but not always. Right? How do you know what your answer is? You go back to the question. What do they want to know? How old was Dolly on his 3rd birthday? No, that's not a question. That'd be a great question. What is their question? What's their, not a word, but what's the actual thing they want? What do they want? What do they say? Find what?
What speed does the Chuck
What speed for Chuck? They want the Chuck speed. Don't they? Which box? Remember, this is the key. X is 43. is the key. I can unlock any of these doors. Click, 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 click. I can unlock any of those doors now. What door? What's behind door number 3? What door do they want? They want the Chuck speed.
43 plus 1.
So rate, speed is rate. Chuck, they want this one, don't they? That's the Chuck speed box. So do they want just X? No. They want X add 5. So they want me to take that 43 and add 5. The real answer is 48. Watch out. Wouldn't that be a bummer on multiple choice? If it's on this kind of question, I would just take off 1 point. No big deal. But if it's multiple choice, they always put that bad answer there. I get these off the publisher's website. Pre-made test things. Well, I mean, the questions. And they do that. They always put the option there like that. Don't grab that one. Don't be fooled. Is that good? Make sure you read the word problem. So, number 9. Let's try that one. Basically, they just want you to take that big old ugly thing and clean it up. These can be tough.
Or you just do it and then. Oh, no, you can't do that.
It's 36 over X. Say you click. You can find the common. So it's 12.
It's 12.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we do on these things? Yeah, you find the LCM, LCD thing, right? You take aim at all the things under bars, all the denominators. And you say, all right, 4, 12, and X. What's the common denominator for all those?
12x.
Yeah, if you do the 4 and the 12, do you know it's just 12? And then the X also, so 12X, right? If you do 4 goes in there once, in there 3 times, multiply these guys together, it's 12. So 12 is the number part of the LCD, and then you also need the X. Okay, so it's 12X. Everybody good? The LCD, LCM is 12X. So what do we do with that? We go 12X. Come on. We go 12X. So let me do this here. And it's over 1, isn't it? 12x over 1, 12x over 1, 12x over 1, 12x over 1. Everybody good there? Remember these fractions over fractions? Messy, ugly things? You find everybody see what I'm doing there? You look at all the denominators, and you find the LCD for them all. Find the common denominator for them all. 12x. You multiply every term by 12x over 1. Is that good? And then you cross cancel and multiply what's left over. So in the first one, you're just going to multiply 9 times 12, right? 108x? Because there's nothing to cancel. Everybody good there so far? The second one, you're going to cancel the x's, and that'll be 36. Everybody good so far? Everybody see what I'm doing? See what happened? In the upper left, I just multiplied because there was nothing to cancel. There was nothing under the bar but a 1. Right? In the upper right, the x's went bye-bye. The x's canceled, and the leftover 3 times 12 made 36. Good? Good so far. Lower left, 4 goes into 12 3 times. And I got 3x squared. See why that x is squared? X times x. Plus, and then over here the 12s cancel, and I just have x. Got to be real careful in all that. A lot of factoring and stuff. I mean, a lot of canceling. Everybody see what happened? Everybody good with that? Now, we're not done. What more can be done? Factor on the top, you take out a 36. It's 3x plus 1 on the bottom, you take out an x. I know I'm going quick. I just want to get through a couple more before that time runs out on us. So I'm just factoring. I'm just taking out what's in common on the top. Use your calculator. Those numbers are right. And then these just drop out. And it's just 36 over x. That's a none of the above, isn't it? So there's a none of the above, which can be disturbing if you lack confidence in your math work. Is that good? Questions on that one? So number 11, it's hard to see, at least from my eyes. Is that symbol in the middle? Is that an add or is that a divide? Well, we know because of that word that it's divide. Everybody see that? Because it says the word divide. That's how I know that must be a divide symbol in the middle, right? So we have x squared plus 8x plus 15 over x plus 3. What do we do when it says divide? Yeah, for divide, you flip the right side, change to multiply. So you change it to multiply, and you flip the right side. Is that good to there? See how the middle became times? I flip the right side. Is that good? And now, factor the top. How do you factor that on the top? X plus 3, x plus 5, right? It adds to be 8 in the middle, multiplies to be 15. Take out a 3 here on the top. On the bottom, how do you factor x squared minus 25? X plus 5, x minus 5. It's just a bunch of factoring, huh?
They just cancel.
Now cancel. X plus 3, x plus 3. X plus 5, x plus 5. X minus 5, x minus 5. Look at that. What's left? 3. Top and bottom. Just cancel, cancel. The answer is 3. That big old mess just becomes 3. Good. With that. Now I want to show you number 13. That one's kind of important, I think. Today that you take. There's easy problems and hard problems, and I want you to know which are which. Number 13 is going to be a hard one, and number 14 is going to be an easy one. I want to help you see why I can know that right away without doing any steps. Adding or subtracting in the middle. Those kind are hard. You have to do the LCD and all that kind of stuff, right? Whereas multiplying or dividing in the middle, those are easy. Those are easy. Just factor and cancel, like the one we just did, right? We just did factoring and cancel. Right? Does everybody know that difference? So when you look at the test today, when you look at like this question, you want to think, oh, that's one of those hard ones because there's adding, subtracting. So I gotta go, okay, LCD factor. So I had to factor that denominator right there, right here. I took 2 out of 2 times x minus 4 makes 2x minus 8, right, like that. And then I got to do the whole LCD thing and What is the LCD there?
X minus 4.
2 times x minus 4.
You look here, here, and here. You're shopping. Buy one of everything. 2 and x minus 4, right? So what are you going to do? 2x minus 4, 2x minus 4, 2x minus 4, and cancel, cancel. 2 minus 4 is 8. Cancel, cancel, just the 1. Cancel, cancel, 9x minus 4, and then dot, dot, dot. Right? That good? LCD kind. Whereas number 14, you're not going to try to get LCD. You're just going to factor. X plus 2, x minus 2. This will be, I don't know what, x minus 2, x minus 3. Am I on the screen? Yeah. And this is x times x minus 3. Just factor and cancel. No LCD required. Just start crossing stuff off, right? Boom, 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 boom. Right? You guys with me? You see that difference? So when there's the pluses and minuses, you need the LCD. If it's just time, remember what's easy in math is multiplying and dividing. All right, we probably need to take this thing, huh? All right, are you ready?